Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again with yet another random commander. Today is the day, if you're watching this on Tuesday, that MKM hits. There'll be one more random commander deck tomorrow, and then Thursday and Friday should have a couple of the new MKM decks with a bit of luck. But anyway, here's Zaffai, the Thunder Conductor. 2 red and a blue for a 1/4 human shaman and magecraft. Whenever you cast a spell or instant or sorcery spell or copy it, scry 1. Mana value 5 or more, you get a 4/4 red elemental creature token. And then if that spell's mana value is 10 or greater, the Thunder Conductor deals 10 damage to an opponent chosen at random. Yeah, okay, this is a really weird card, but it's good fun. I do like having a little bit of the red-blue chaosy type deck things happening. The Magecraft on here makes this a little bit more unusual than has been seen before. So, hey, here we go. This is what I built it as. Starting at the beginning as always, mana base 36 lands in the deck, all red and blue all the way through, quite heavy on the islands and the mountains, purely so I just want to try something a little bit cheaper on the mana base. Nothing too ridiculous here, I don't think, apart from maybe Scalding Tarn you may want to take out. Artifact wise, not too much in this either. Just Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Fire Diamond, Sky Diamond, Mind Stone, and the Talisman of Creativity. Kept it low, kept it reasonably good, I think. But then, obviously, we want to be casting instants and sorceries. So we've only got 20 creatures, and yes, they probably are the creatures you are expecting to have in this deck. Maybe 1 or 2 additional ones you haven't seen before. And then 43 other things that should really help us out, I think. So, we get the scrying on the go. We've got Brainstorm, Ponder at the start, and then this is backed up by Wizard class, so we can make our creatures a little bit bigger once we can hit the level 3, or draw a couple of cards when we can get the 3 mana on the go. As for getting the cost 5 instant sorceries now as well, Baral's here, you wouldn't expect it to be anywhere else. Cyclonic Rift, Counter Spell and Mana Drain provide us with a little bit of control. Harmonic Prodigy is one of the cards you probably weren't expecting. We do have quite a few wizards and shamans in the deck that trigger off us casting instants and sorcery, so having them go in extra time isn't the worst thing. Like Young Pyromancer is one of them. Expressive Iteration is also here to look at the top cards. Put one in our hand, one into exile, and cast it. We need to make sure we can cast the exiled one that turn. So I usually try and play this when I haven't played a land for the turn, in case I can exile a land and play that from exile. That tends to work. Goblin Electromancer reduces the cost of our instants and sorceries, and Sorcerer class does the whole draw 2, discard 2, and then we get to have our creatures add red and blue mana as we need it to cast instant sorceries once we level it up. And then whenever we get to level 3, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, that spell deals damage to each opponent equal to the number of instants and sorcery spells you've cast this turn. So yeah, that helps. Chrome Host Sea Shark is the latest one of the let's cast this non-creature spell and get some creature for it. This one gives us incubate tokens, which we can transform over. Rhystic Study, skipping quickly past it. Gutter Snipe, skipping quickly past it. Seething Song helps us cast some of our more expensive instants and sorceries. Dual Caster Mage lets us copy things, which is useful because we like copying, copy or cast. Reiterate is just a buyback version of a copy spell. There's a lot of a buyback. It's 6 mana to buy it back, but sometimes you'll just you'll be able to do it with cost reductions you've already got in play. So it does work. Spectacle Mage is one of those things. Instant sorcery spells you cast with mana 5 or greater cost 1 less to cast. It's also a 2/2 flyer for 3 mana, which isn't the worst creature in the world to have in this sort of deck. Vadric, the Astral Archmage, makes an appearance as well. Yes, tracking night and day is a lot easier tracking on MTGO than in real life. And flipping it around and getting those cost reductions really does help with your instants and sorceries. Jace's Sanctum gets you the scry in and a little bit of reduction on each spell and instant. Archmage Emeritus, you're expecting this one, draws your cards when you cast your instant sorceries. Along with Oja Papatika. This one comes in from our last set, Lost Caverns of Ixalan. Did a whole deck tech around this a while back, which seems to have gone down really well. It's one of my most viewed videos on the channel. But I've included it here because we do have a few instances, and having the rebound could really help us out. Tyrant, you're expecting to see to get them all Drakes. Storm Kiln Artisan, I expect you're expecting this as well for the treasures to help us do the ramp side of things. And Wildfire Devils. Enters the battlefield on the beginning of your upkeep, choose a player at random. That player exiles an instant sorcery card from their graveyard. Copy that card. You may cast a copy without paying its mana cost. It's a very nice card. Usually gets killed after you've cast it though, so don't be surprised if this dies suddenly. Decker, Fractal Theorist. Yeah, casting instants and sorceries, we get token creatures. Yes, they're green, but it doesn't matter because there's no green symbol in the card. So, hey, we get to play in a blue-red deck. And we get to have those creatures with +X+1/+1 counters where the spells that mana value. And then we can make creature tokens unblockable if we need them to get them damage. Ether Spouts does the job with attacking creatures. Dazzling Sphinx is annoying, and once he gets the combat damage dealt him, he gets to cast more instants and sorceries from our opponent's libraries for free. Invasion of Arcovius, I think is how we pronounce it. Enters the battlefield, search your library, graveyard, or outside the game for an instant sorcery card. You own, reveal it, put it in your hand. That's fine, so it's just a tutor for 5 mana. But if you can take off the 7 points and get it flipped, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand, you may copy that spell, and it's just a static ability on enchantment, which is wow. Getting rid of the 7 is an issue though, bear that in mind. Double Vision just automatically copies something for us once a turn. Mana Geyser gives us a whole load of mana to cast our spells with. Riona, Fire Dancer, makes a whole load of tokens of creatures. It's really good if you can make them tokens of non-legendary creatures, obviously. So bear that in mind. And yeah, that does give your opponents upset, especially if I've done it and I've played this deck a few times practicing it. I managed to get off a Riona copy of 3 for 3 Gutter Snipes and then played a couple of extra instants after that. And yeah, that didn't go down very well. Well, with me it did, with my opponents, not so much. I did die very quickly after I became a target, but it works. Rousing Refrain, it's very nice. This is one of the cards that automatically comes back in and out. So when you cast it off Zaffai, you're always going to get a 4/4 because of its suspend ability. It comes in, it casts itself, and it suspends itself again. So, you know, every 3rd turn you get a 4/4 if you've got Zaffai in place. So it works out nicely. Pyromancer's Goggles are also here just to help us copy red instants and sorceries when we pay the mana from them. Inspiring Refrain is a 6 mana version of the card we were talking about earlier. Just drawing 2 cards for 6 mana isn't great. Suspending it for 3 mana, waiting 3 turns to draw cards, and then get a 6 mana spell casting, which gives us a 4/4. You know the drill. Yeah. Storm of Saruman is nice. Cast a second spell each turn. You copy it, and it's not legendary. Okay. Arcane Bombardment is here. I'm not going to go into it. We all know what it does, along with 1,000 Year Storm. Yeah, let's get everything going as quickly as possible. Atali, the Primal Storm, just annoys opponents. Immolating Gear. I forgot this existed, to be honest, and I was looking for some sort of X spell to deal with things. And yeah, deals X damage to each creature in Planeswalker you don't control, where X is the number of instant sorcery cards in your graveyard. We should have a lot. Unless we shuffled everything back in with Elixir of Immortality, in which case hold on to it, don't cast it for 0, because that's just silly at 6 mana. But it does deal with things quite quickly on our board. And another one coming in from Lost Caverns of Ixalan, Chimil, the Inner Sun. Let's just get a spell every turn, discover 5 that can't be countered, and our spells can't be countered. So yes, please, thank you. Swarm Intelligence, another static one that copies our instants and sorceries as we cast them. Diluvian Primordial. Enters the battlefield for each opponent, casts up to 1 target instance or sorcery card from their graveyard without paying the mana cost, then exile those spells. Just don't hit Wrathy Gods. Probably not the best idea. Volcanic Vision. We get to return something from an instant or sorcery from our graveyard to our hand, and then it deals its damage equal to that card's mana value to each creature your opponents control. So a little bit of a Wrath effect, which helps. Hit the Motherlode, Lost Caverns of Ixalan, treasure tokens, discover 10, you'll cast anything you hit basically, which is great. Call the Skybreaker, just a nice way of discarding those extra lands when we have them to get some 5/5 flyers. And Ovika, Enigma Goliath, lots of goblins, hopefully each turn that you can attack with and win the game that way. Dig Through Time, you all know what it does, so I'm not going to go through it again. One with the multiverse, we can cast something for free once a turn. You can replace this with Omniscience if you want to, but one with the multiverse is 2 mana cheaper, hence why it's here instead of Omniscience. Magna Opus, early doors, you can discard it, get it back in with Elixir Immortality. Late game, or with a load of cost reductions on the board, 4 damage, treasure, 2 cards, tap a couple of permanents, and a 4/4. Yeah, okay then, I'll cope with that. Mnemonic Deluge is something I didn't even know had been programmed in. I missed this one, and I forgot this in real life, so I went and picked one up. Not the cheapest card on MTGO at the moment, but yeah. But anyway, exile target instant or sorcery card from a graveyard. Copy that card 3 times. You may cast the copies without paying the mana cost, then this gets exiled. Do I need to say anything else? No, probably not. Yeah. If you've got 11 mana lying around or enough mana with the reductions in play to discard this for a treasure and then cast this targeting this, you're going to have a really good game and your opponent's going to be really upset really quickly. Final 2 cards, Blasphemous Act, because we need 1 big board control spell, and Apex of Power, the only one we've got in that's got a static 10 casting cost, which will deal the 10 damage. Yeah, I couldn't think of anything else to put in apart from Apex Power, so it's here. Couple of X spells to finish off. Storm King's Thunder. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not great at my rulings on spells, and I usually have to call a judge when I do this sort of thing. But I think if we make X7, it classes a 10 mana value spell that's being cast. Therefore, yeah, you get to do the 10 damage and then do the whole copy something 7 times, assuming you've got the mana to do it. And Expansion Explosion, I still like this card. Gives a way of copying things, or if we need to deal some damage and draw some cards, we can do it that way if we need to at instant speed. And that's it for today's deck tech. Zaffai is just a little bit of fun while we wait. As I've been saying a lot, there will be MKM stuff coming. Proper decks will be up Thursday, Friday this week. There'll be something random tomorrow just to cover us tomorrow because I won't have had a chance to do anything. So keep your eyes out for that. But for now, hope you enjoy Zaffai. Hope you've hit the subscribe button down below here. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Take care. And I'll see you soon. Bye.